What's going on? This is your man John Fortune, and this is your Frustrated Fan Sports Show. I'm going to go ahead and get right into it, man. I'm telling you, this was a game of games of games. I don't know how the rest of y'all feel, but Josh Johnson made me feel like he was the chick at the club that we have been talking to all night, man. I mean, set up here and, we was sitting up there giving her drinks and telling her how amazing she is, and we can't wait to get to know her a little bit better. And then all of a sudden she got back to our house and she started taking all the body parts that we thought was real and come to find out it was really fake, and she started throwing them on the floor, a la I'm gonna get you, sucker. I mean, Josh Johnson sat up there and made us feel like T-Pain at the club, man, chopped and screwed. Have you ever seen a quarterback bagging clothes at the mall? Well, that's where Josh Johnson should have stayed, because this man gave us 89 yards. To me, this game was kind of weird because it seemed like at some point Jay Gruden just said, you know what, do whatever the hell you want. And Josh Johnson said, well, you know what? I play Madden all the time. And to be quite honest, these plays seem to work out when I play with myself on Madden. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scramble. I'm going to do a lot of scrambling and stuff like that. And I'm just going to loft the ball up in the air, And then, because I know that I'm throwing it in double coverage and triple coverage, but I don't care because it always works out in Madden. Madden always makes sure it works out. So I'm just saying this, y'all. This was one of these games that you could tell that nobody was really motivated to play. And it showed from the defensive side and the offensive side. Josh Johnson was rushed a lot, but it really did seem like Jay Gruden didn't care anymore. It seemed like he's like over this team. He's over the job and he's ready to leave. So I just think that we're just going to be in a place where it's all about next year. It's just all about next year. And to be quite honest, y'all, I don't see how next year is going to be any better for us, because Jay Gruden is going to be our head coach. No matter how we look at it, Jay Gruden will be our head coach next year. And this goes to the extent of how I feel about black coaches as well, because what's starting to bother me is that there are reports that saying that Vance Joseph is going to be fired after only 2 seasons in Denver. Now, mind you, Vance Joseph took over what was probably a very awful team that had no quarterback, had absolutely no quarterback, and the defense was aging, and they just came off of a Super Bowl win that was maybe about like a year or 2 away from off of a Super Bowl win. And Vance Joseph, in only 2 years, is getting ready to be fired from the Denver Broncos. Only 2 years. And here we are with Jay Gruden, who still has 2 more years left on his contract, has been here for 5 years. So altogether that makes 7 if he basically coaches out his contract. We would have had 7 years of Jay Gruden. And yet, Vance Joseph up in Denver is about to be fired in only his 2nd year. Wow. That tells us where our priorities are when it comes to being a certain type of franchise, and also as the NFL. But back to the game. I mean, Mason Foster, Zach Brown, they're just old. I now see even more why you would make a decision of bringing in a Reuben Foster, because clearly he's young enough to sit up there and actually play or maybe give us some plays or something like that, because Zach Brown, I mean, he looks like he's a guy who Buffalo had him figured out, and we didn't. You know, Buffalo set up there and they got rid of Zach Brown right before his downfall or his downturn. And we picked him up. He gave us a good 1 year. We signed him. And now we're going to have to think about releasing him. I mean, there's a lot of things that we're going to have to do in the offseason that's going to not make a lot of people around here happy. But again, why are we surprised that this was the end of our season? Why are we surprised that this happened to us this year? I mean, we knew going into the season we had no wide receiver help. We knew this. This is not something that was new. We knew Alex Smith was not the light the scoreboard up, fantastic quarterback that we knew we weren't going to get. I mean, it's kind of crazy. He just seems like he basically has done the exact same thing that Kirk Cousins did. I mean, maybe it is Jay Gruden's offense that just makes what could be maybe good quarterbacks pretty mediocre. I mean, hell, he did have what's his name? Andy Dalton in Cincinnati, who's a mediocre quarterback as well. I mean, Jay Gruden doesn't really have the best track record when it comes to quarterbacks. He's either coached or coached up. All the guys that he may have had around him were actually pretty good quarterbacks, but it seems like he's never been the guy who's been able to really do anything to help the quarterbacks at all. I mean, Josh Johnson seemed pretty good for us for 2 games, but like I said, it just seemed like Jay Gruden was not inspired to even care about this game. I mean, I, as a Redskins fan, would have been happy to put the Eagles out of the playoffs. Instead, what did we do? We helped them. We helped them get in. Isn't that amazing to us? We're always the team that just help people. I mean, we helped the Dallas Cowboys win the NFC East. How awesome of us to do that. We helped the Philadelphia Eagles get into the playoffs. How awesome is that? One thing I can say is that we do support our division, don't we? We really make sure that the people in our division go to the playoffs off of our assists. We do make sure that they win some type of championship or division championship off of us. We do support our division. Too bad the division doesn't support us that well, but hey, somebody has to be the fall guy for us, right? Right? Somebody has to be the team. I mean, hell, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Baltimore Ravens, and the Cincinnati Bengals, they all depend on Cleveland to do that, don't they? That's what they do. They all depend on Cleveland to do that very thing. You know, take one for the team. Taking one for the team. But coming into this year, I mean, we knew what type of team we had when we walked up in here. We knew we were going to have what basically turned out to be 2 rookie starting defensive tackles that were better. And not only that, how important is one guy to our team? DJ Swearinger must have been extremely important to our defense. And you know what? To be honest, before we got HaHa Clinton-Dix, he was considered the number one rated safety in the NFL. And then for some reason, when we brought in HaHa Clinton-Dix, all of a sudden, next thing you know, we're sitting up there in a situation where DJ Swearinger's play all of a sudden changed. He wasn't the same safety anymore. He wasn't the same play anymore. So I wonder why that is, why that was. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of it had to do with HaHa Clinton-Dix sitting up there and being brought in, and they adjusted their defense to sit up there and accommodate him, and yet he wasn't even that good of a guy to bring in. Now, we sitting up in the situation again where now, guess what, y'all? We got to now look for safeties again. We have to now look for safeties again. We've been looking for safeties since Sean Taylor passed away, and we still haven't found guys. We still have not found guys to replace Sean Taylor at all. We haven't found one freaking safety. And here we are dealing with this crap over and over again. And I really want to dig into the factor of people sitting up there saying, fire Jay Gruden, fire Jay Gruden. I'm with y'all. I'm with y'all. Yes, we can fire Jay Gruden. But understand this. We're not getting any quality coaches in here. No quality coaches are coming here. They're not coming. The only thing we're going to get in response to coaches is we're going to get like the secondary coach, or we're going to get something like a special teams coach to be our head coach. We don't have the experience when it comes to bringing in quality guys and winning with quality guys. Like I said, we are the only team during Dan Snyder's tenure who's had 3 Hall of Fame coaches. 3 Hall of Fame coaches. I mean, yeah, Mike Shanahan isn't in the Hall of Fame right now, but he's getting there. I mean, let's not sit up here and pretend like he's not going to get there. That's almost like saying Jordan wasn't going to make the NBA, wasn't going to make the Basketball Hall of Fame because he played for the Wizards. Hell no. Mike Shanahan is going to be in the Hall of Fame because he's won Super Bowls. Okay? He's going to be in there. We had Marty Schottenheimer. Yes, Marty Schottenheimer wasn't winning Super Bowls, but the guy was a phenomenal coach. Everywhere he went, he turned the franchise around. We had Joe Gibbs. Joe Gibbs walked away from us. Left because Dan Snyder was just a butthole. He left because of that. And everybody has to understand that this is not going to change for us. Jay Gruden is pretty much our Jason Garrett. We're not going to find the guy that we really need to turn us around. We're not going to find it. And if we do, trust and believe it's not going to be the guy that we want. It's really not going to be the guy that we want. It's not going to be the guy that we need. And it's not going to be the guy that's going to help us in the long term. Now, we are going to have to draft incredibly well, because guess what? Not only did we have a bad season, we have a bad pick this year. Our pick is number 15. 15. Do you know all the good players that's going to be gone by the time we pick at 15? Yeah, we were able to get Deron Payne. We lucked up and got Jonathan Allen, who people stupidly passed up. I mean, we were lucky for that. We were lucky to get Darius Geis, who people passed up. But understand that that's not going to be our draft all the time. There's going to be situations where we are going to have to actually move up and be further up to get the guys that we really need. Now, I have been looking at college, and to me, there are a couple quarterbacks that are pretty good in college, but we have to develop a guy. We have to truly develop a guy. And I'm going to say this, and I know a lot of people is not going to agree with me, but you know what the NFL needs the amnesty clause that was brought up in the NBA, because we definitely need an amnesty deal right now, because we have to get Alex Smith off our books. We have to get him off our books because this guy's not coming back to play. And understand this, he was already mediocre before the injury. Imagine when he comes back from a leg injury. Imagine what type of quarterback he's going to be when he comes back. He's going to be even worse than he was when he left. So understand this. This is not going to be a situation where we're going to be a team that is able to rely on a guy who basically is killing our cap. We need the amnesty clause. I think we need to sit up there and do whatever we can to sit up there and have the NFL introduce the amnesty clause this year. We need it for this year because we got to get Alex Smith off our books. Another thing is, I don't understand why we didn't look at Teddy Bridgewater. I don't understand for the life of me why we did not look at Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater would have been far cheaper for us. We could have got this guy in our system at freaking 3 years and $34 million. We could have paid him $11 million a year. That would have been defensive, I guess, defensive line money or defensive end money or whatever. But we could have paid that guy $11 million a year and would have been straight. We would have been straight. And we didn't do that. And now we're going to have to figure it out. I'm sorry. Our defensive coaching staff all has to go. I love Jim Tom Sula because he did an amazing job with that defensive line. But I think they all have to go. I mean, we need us a Wade Wilson. I mean, Wade Phillips. We need us a Wade Phillips. We need us a Dom Capers. You know, we need us a big time defensive minded guy that's going to murder teams when they come up in here. We need us a Greg Williams. We need somebody that's going to help us and that's going to make sure everything that this team is going through is going to be much better. Because at this point, we're just going to be trash. We're just going to be trash. And I can't understand for the life of me why we sit up there and we're always in situations like this over and over and over again. I mean, how many times have we seen other teams basically surpass us in just 2 years? 2 years, they're able to surpass us in most of the things that we're supposed to be better than other teams in. I mean, hell, in reality, the Giants are just a quarterback away from being better than us. Think about that. Their worst player on their entire team is Eli Manning. They're a quarterback away from being better than us. Understand that technically, if they would have won some of those close games, we would be the team that's on the bottom right now and not them. They beat us. They beat us badly too. So understand that no matter what goes on, no matter what happens, we need to act like we want to be a team that's going to be a team that actually wants to win. And the only way that happens is if we bring in quality people. But again, that's not going to happen. I mean, right now, we got Josh Norman, who cost us a lot. You know, we got Zach Brown, who cost us about $20 million. You know, he cost us a lot of money. We spent on him. Mason Foster cost us a lot of money. I mean, the benefit that we do have is that we don't have a buttload of people that we signed to the team, but we screwed up on a lot of stuff. You know, a lot of our draft picks did not pan out. I mean, Jamison Crowder might be gone next year. Josh Doxson, I mean, I wasn't expecting much from him. I'm surprised that, again, this is where a guy was taken in the first round, probably shouldn't have been taken in the first round. People probably had him rated correctly. Or is it just the quarterback play? Are our quarterbacks that bad? Hell, Jordan Reed is our leading receiver, and this was a down year for him. This was a down year for him. And here we are where our guys, our leading receiver is the tight end who was having a down year. That is the most amazing thing ever. Our draft isn't going to be that well because we traded away a lot of stuff last year. And here we are this year where we picked 15. 15, y'all. We picked low. We picked very low this year. I'm actually going to do a show that focuses on the draft, focuses on what we can do in the draft, and focuses on how things are going to be in the draft. I'm also going to do a show on free agents. You know, what free agents we can bring in, what our cap situation is, what we can possibly do. And then on top of that, I'm going to pray that we get the amnesty clause in the NFL because we definitely need it. I mean, hell, I mean, Josh Norman, I don't mind keeping him, but we definitely need the amnesty Alex Smith because he's just not going to do anything for us. And I just say, let's start off fresh with quarterbacks next year. Let's not bring back Colt. Let's not bring back Alex. Let's not bring back Mark Sanchez, who doesn't deserve to even be in the NFL. He needs to be He needs to be playing baseball with Tim Tebow. That's what he needs to go do. I mean, because he's not good either. So we really, really need to focus on what we're going to do in the long run. Like I said, let's start off fresh at quarterback. Let's get rid of everybody. Let's bring back Adrian Peterson. This guy did a lot for us. And it would be nice to sit up there and have him train up the rookie that we got on our team. It would be nice for him to do that. Let's go ahead and let Rob Kelly for once actually get a real opportunity somewhere else. I know a lot of people don't like for me to say this. I know a lot of people don't like to hear this. But at this point, Jordan Reed, it's time for him to go. And we need to really, really start over fresh, y'all. We really do. But this is the last show of the year. And coming next year, like I said, I will be incorporating videos. Starting out, I'll probably be incorporating pictures and things like that. I will be focusing on the Wizards this year. And I also will be focusing on the Caps and what's going to happen with the Nationals and things like that. But other than that, y'all, I want to thank y'all for even viewing the show, looking at the show and everything like that. So I want to tell y'all, like, subscribe, and understand that no matter what, I'm going to stay frustrated. And I appreciate y'all. And I'm out. Thank you. I'm John Fortune, and this is the Frustrated Fan Sports Show.